They were in Rochester, New York this past Wednesday night. Do you know why Rochester stands out to me, Brian Last?
Gorilla Monsoon.
No. Rochester, New York is the very first place I ever had a chicken wing. 1989, TBS, WCW, they're starting to run towns that Crockett had never been to, trying to chase Vince around the country, going to a lot of places that didn't want to see WCW. Rochester, New York was one of them, but the restaurant across the street from the hotel, we fly in early. We're starving, me in the midnight. We go across the street, get something to eat, sit down. And on the menu, it says chicken wings. And this was 1989. And now later on, since I found out that I love them so much, I found out, the Anchor Bar in Buffalo was the original Buffalo wing. They took some wings and fried them and flipped them in the sauce and blah, blah, blah. And, of course, we've also come to find out that the Anchor Bar wings are just basically Tabasco and fucking wings, and it's in a shitty part of town. But I said, what the fuck can a chicken wing be? And so I ordered some, and I knew what a chicken wing was, obviously, on the bird, but I'd never seen one fixed before. Because have we just accepted the fact now that wings have always been around? Like if you watch the history of the food that built America on the History Channel, I didn't realize that most of these chain restaurants and genres of restaurants that I like to eat at and have for most of my life didn't exist until I was like 12 or 13 years old.
I recently read a book by Bobby Valentine, the former New York Mets manager, and he had a very interesting life. He still does. And he had a bunch of restaurants. And he lays claim, I believe in the early 80s, that his restaurant in Connecticut invented the wrap. And it's such a crazy thing when you think about it. But then you're like, well, someone had to invent it. And they kind of weren't wraps before a certain point in time. And it's weird when you think like my kids are going to grow up and their entire life there's going to be wraps. They're going to know what those are. And at some point in my life, they were invented.
That's exactly correct. And they used to throw the chicken wings away. And now they're the highest priced piece of the chicken. Anyway, so that was Rochester, New York to me. And that'll be more interesting, that story, than the recount of the television program.
On this topic, I'm not a big wings guy. What am I missing? What do I not get?
Well, okay, you can't. The people who make wings, like especially the pizza places that make wings in the pizza oven, which is not the way you do it. They're chewy. They're not, the skin isn't crisp, or they're not meaty. You got a wide variety of wings out there, but you get the fat ones and they're deep fried. So the skin's crispy, but yet the inside is succulent and moist. And then you don't dump the sauce all over them and just make them swim in it, but you put the sauce on and you flip them in the bowl and you spin them. As a matter of fact, that's what makes, I think, the Quaker Steak and Lube wings so good is they have like a raffle thing that they spin the wing in. And it gets all covered with the sauce. And then you got the garlic parm, or you got the spicy garlic, or you got the, your levels of hot or medium or mild, or you can go all kinds of ways. You can go Asian.
What do?
I love, at Quaker Steak and Lube, I love the black pepper and Parmesan wings that are not spicy at all, but they're very tasty. And then I like the spicy garlic if I want to go a little spicy. I like, it just depends. And then smoked wings are a whole different thing. You go down to like Memphis to Corky's, or here at Martin's Barbecue. In any Kentucky or Tennessee location, they have smoked wings. And those with a little Memphis dry rub on those instead of any sauce at all, I'm just telling you.
Well, you're talking about all these places that you like and their wings. So if Rochester was the first time in the NWA that you saw wings, when was the second time? Did it start popping up everywhere quickly on the menu?
Actually, well, then I noticed at Chili's, because Chili's, I think, just started as a chain in the early 80s. I didn't realize, there was one in Charlotte was the first time I ever saw one, and I didn't realize they were all over the country, but they started coming out with a wing. And even though it's still Chili's, they're not necessarily, award-winning wings.
Hey, come on, 2-for-1 drinks.
Well, the drinks are different than the wings. Chickens don't drink very much.
I know, but a few of those 2-for-1 drinks and the wings taste a lot better than they would have otherwise.
Well, and you ought to see when they do drink too much, those drunk cluckers, they cause a mess. But anyway, and then wings started popping up everywhere. And then there became wing places and wing contests, and everybody's got a wing now.